So, Transformers 1 is dead. That's right. The movie that came out, which was basically a prequel, kind of, I guess, to Transformers. It was animated, CG animation. Anyway, Chris Hemsworth was in this, and I think it was Brian Tyree Henry as well. No sequel plans, all dead. Dun, 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 dun. Not good, for those that enjoyed it. And allegedly, arguably, from what I could tell, a lot of people really did like it. It just wasn't well viewed in theatres. Not a lot of people went out to watch it. But those that did watch it liked it. Had a high favourability rating. So I thought we'd take a look, because I think this is interesting. Paramount has earned mega money with Transformers in the past, and they kind of don't really know what to do with it. But I also think as well, it's really important to note is that I think people are burned out on Transformers just generally. We had all those Michael Bay movies, then they went to the sort of G1 Bumblebee style movies, then they chose not to continue that, then they had some weird Netflix stuff, then they had this. It's kind of been all over the place, quite frankly. And I just think, as with Star Wars, properties can, even though they're well liked, can get burned out in the eyes of the audience. I think people can suffer from a fatigue, and I think that's what people have with Transformers. I think they need to rest it for a while, for about 5 years, maybe even longer, a decade maybe. Come back with a fresh generation of children that could enjoy it. But anyway, it says this: the future of Transformers movies continues to stall out. Whilst participating at a panel at BotCon 2025, director Josh Cooley has reportedly confirmed that Paramount currently has no plans for a sequel to Transformers 1. And that's news that won't surprise fans, given the film's underwhelming box office run. Again, but people liked it. So the update comes via an ex-user and the TFW 2005 forums, where fans are discussing Cooley's remarks. Whilst the animated prequel had been hyped as a fresh start for the franchise, it only did $129 million globally, with a budget of $75 million. So, it's not good, obviously. That's not good money. This movie would have needed to have earned significantly more than that. Significantly more than, somewhere in the region of like $250 million to break even. Without knowing the marketing budget, it's quite difficult to tell. But with $75 million as a production, double that, $150 million, plus chuck some money on for marketing. Yeah, I think 250's probably fair. Maybe overshooting it with 250, probably about 200. But, that's quite bad. That's quite bad. And I just think it's burnout. I think people are sick of the property. And again, it's not to say that Transformers isn't a good property, because it is. Like, it's a great property. But I think people have just burned out on it. We had year after year, release after release of the Bayformers. And they were terrible. Like, they just declined in quality over and over and over and over and over. And it was the same thing, rinse and repeat. I quite liked the first one, don't get me wrong. But it was just rinse and repeat every single time. It was, well, there's a new thing. This is the one thing that'll save us and the one thing that'll kill us. And, we best go get that now. And it's like, for God's sake, it's just the same thing. Oh, there's these Transformers that were here all this while. And, oh my God, it's like, how many... Is Optimus Prime malfunctioning? Has he got some screws loose, some short circuits going on? Because how did he not remember this at every single point in any single movie? He should know that these various things are there, and he just doesn't. And then the next one, he seems to have amnesia. He's like, oh, there's this thing. Oh, for God's sake. So anyway, Paramount Transformers plans are murky. So obviously this adds to the silence surrounding the rumoured Transformers G.I. Joe crossover movie. Chris Hemsworth was said to be attached, but there's been no official word or development updates in months. That shouldn't go ahead. That sounds like trash, quite frankly. The Wrap has reported that Paramount's plans for future Transformers movies are not really happening, to be honest. So Transformers on pause, basically. So it's looking more and more likely that Paramount is pressing pause on Transformers, and they really should. They really should. And they say this, maybe they're waiting for the dust to settle on the Skydance acquisition before making any big moves, which could be the case. Could be the case. New ownership, you know, change of hands. The situation is also made worse by Hasbro stepping back from financing its own films, instead shifting focus to its Magic the Gathering brand, which is a weird thing to do, but sure, fine, I guess. Rise of the Beasts, you know, that was released in 2023. I mean, that only brought 441 million. And it's not to say it's a small number, but it's not good when previous Michael Bay movies were like billion-dollar hits, right? But again, people were burned out. Because Bay's final film, The Last Night, topped out at 605 million. I mean, people were just like, what are we doing with this crap? And the thing is, you know, the Bay formers became quite cynical in their approach to the filmmaking process. There was a high amount of cynicism behind these films being made. It was very clear that Michael Bay was just making them because he was getting a truckload of money. You know, and Paramount just did it because they were just getting a truckload of money. It was very clear that no one loved making these films. And then that translates into no one loving watching them, which I think is fair. So what's next for Transformers? Well, Hasbro did recently announce Transformers Cyberworld animated series, and also Toy Line, which is launching next month. That is a new digital series rolling out on YouTube. Now that could be that could be good. Who knows? That could honestly be a good thing. It's very difficult to say whether it will be a good thing, though. I still think it needs to just chill out, just rest, relax, don't make anything for a while. And again, no one at the studio will want to do it, but I think a decade is probably appropriate. And I say that because I think ultimately it needs to be a completely new generation of kids that are exposed to it. You know, you can't just keep making them. You can't keep making these movies and expecting the same generation of kids to be like, oh yes, let's just keep watching this. No, you need quite a massive distance between generations. Generational gap needs to be far wider. And again, like I said, it's not to say Transformers 1 is bad, but it is to say that I think Transformers as a brand has now suffered mass fatigue in the eyes of the audience and just burned out. But what do you guys think? Thoughts down below. If you like this video, hit subscribe, give the video a like and a share and all that good stuff. I will say I do have a Patreon. I don't promote it enough. It would be great if you could check it out and support the channel further. It is linked down below, along with my very own t-shirt business. That's right. I do actually have t-shirts, but they are very specific. So do go check out the website. That's linked down below. There's a Shopify link. Take care. Bye-bye now.